And if you do that, you should be fairly safe. However, make sure you don't turn the motor with the distributor out, okay? I needed to tell you that if you're new here or new to the air-cooled motors, I don't want to see you damage your crank gear or your distributor gear. So welcome back to the community, everybody, and thank you all for being part of it. I truly appreciate all of you. If you want to follow the website, scrolling up the screen, you can make a safe and secure donation or buy a t-shirt or stickers. Today, we are going to go ahead and remove a pulley, and I'll tell you why in a moment, but I figured I might as well make a video out of it. In the background, I've been doing other stuff I'll show you in a second here, so let's take a look. What I've been doing in the background is the cooling tins. What a pain in the butt. I'll be doing the cooling tin restoration and cooling tin complete installation this coming week. I did get the flaps done. They were rusted nasty. I did a film on it and I time-lapsed it for the next video. These are nice and clean and they move well now. They didn't before. I keep soaking everything in Evaporust, which is working great. I got to finish the fan shroud. I did get a lot done. Like I says, I'm time-lapsing wire wheeling and cleaning, and I didn't time-lapse the painting part in the end. I'll keep that normal. But that's a lot of the cooling tins. I like the original valve covers I redid. A lot of pieces. Now, the reason I'm showing you is that will be part 2 of the cooling tin installation restoration video. Something I did find out is I'm missing the lower tin behind the pulley. So I checked a spare engine I had, and there it is. So I figured this would be a great opportunity to show how to get a pulley off that's been on there for 382 years. I don't know where I got that number from, but we'll go ahead and I'll show you how to lock the flywheel, remove the pulley. We're going to remove this lower tin, and I'm going to put this back on and torque it properly. So basically a pulley removal and replacement video. So let's get on it. I always buy these, I'll show you in a moment, from Walmart or Harbor Freight, these little with the rollers on them. They're made out of wood. I'll show you in a second. They work fairly well. All right, just getting it set up for video and viewing. Got too much crap in my garage. These are what I'm talking about. They sell these at Walmart, Harbor Freight. I put these on there for better stability. And then they have bigger ones. So for the $5 or $10, whatever they cost, it was cheaper than me buying a couple 2x4s and dolly wheels. Now, since we're going to be tugging on this bolt, tugging on the pulley to pull it off, and then of course getting our tin off, but we're going to be putting the pulley back on and torquing it, we're going to lock the flywheel, and it's very cheap to do. On the other hand, there's something I'm going to bring up that I always bring up in past videos, and I'm sure not all of you are scrolling back clear to the beginning videos. Unless you check my playlist, you know, there's categories there for you to look through for what you need, like an index. But what I did bring up a lot is if your distributor is out of the motor, please don't turn this pulley. You will screw the gears up down inside. Always make sure the distributor is in place and locked down tight. The nuts tighten, the 13mm on the clamp. And if you do that, you should be fairly safe. However, make sure you don't turn the motor with the distributor out, okay? I needed to tell you that if you're new here or new to the air-cooled motors, I don't want to see you damage your crank gear or your distributor gear. So, okay, let's spin it around and we're going to lock the flywheel first. Now, what I have here is a flywheel lock. 98% of you 90% of you probably know what this is. They're fairly cheap, and it locks the flywheel in place. Something I did notice, I bought more of a generic one on Amazon. I probably shouldn't have. I had to do a little grinding, as you can see, mostly on this, for it to fit in the teeth of the flywheel, for it to lighten up. So make sure you buy a good one. What you're going to do here, there's just a bolt and a nut. It's nothing fancy. This will keep that crank from spinning around. You're going to line this up with a hole in the case and the teeth in the flywheel. And spin this nut on. 17 millimeter. There we go. Just snug it up, that's all. Just make sure it's not going to wobble loose, and then we'll spin it around. You will first take a impact or regular socket, because it's only at 32 pound. It is a 30 millimeter. That's what it should be. Maybe some are different, I can't remember. If you don't have an impact gun, which I bought this one at Harbor Freight, it's an electric one. Believe it or not, I've had this thing a couple years, and it goes up like 250 pounds of torque, and it really does work. Now, would it work in a garage every day, all day, at a mechanic shop? Maybe not. So I'll use a breaker bar to show you. Okay. Alrighty. There is the bolt coming out. Now, I don't know when. This pulley has been off. So, yeah, I'm sure. Let me get some PB Blaster a minute. I'm going to put some PB Blast, spray some in here and behind it, because I'm sure it's been on there for 300 years. Now, there's like a quarter of a can left. Oh, well, I'll charge it back up. I hate waste. Can number 2. There we go. I should have probably pre-soaked this. Can't really get back there a good bit, a little bit I can. Now, a lot of folks will put screwdrivers behind this and pry back and forth. You can do that, but watch you do not ruin your case, your engine block, your case, whatever you want to refer to it as, because that can happen very easily. Now, what I have is a pulley puller. Oh, that name. We're going to put that on. It claws around there. I'll show you up close. Some people don't like these. They say it bends the pulley. Can it happen? Absolutely. If this pulley's been on there forever, it can happen. Before I go hitting it with a gun, I'm going to use a ratchet to see if it'll start gently pulling it off. But like I said, some people pry behind this, but that's when you end up messing up your case. I would rather bend a pulley if it happens before damaging the case. Okay, so let's put this on. It has right here like a flat disc, and that will go up against the snout on the crankshaft. Right, let's try to put it on. I'll show you up close here in a second. There we go. I'm going to give this an extra little squirt. Now this is a 22 millimeter. I use the, oh, bumped you there. Now our flywheel's locked in place. Let me try a breaker bar. See if this starts to move. I don't want to go hog wild on it. Yep, it's coming. Okay. I'm going to put a ratchet on it. You're not going to see the ratchet because I have you close so you can watch in here. See how it's pulling it? And it's not so tough that it's bending the pulley, but we didn't have to struggle with screwdrivers or anything crazy and gouge the case all up. think we bought them out there. Come on, get off there. Come on. Okay, very easy. Rubber mallet. There's probably a little burr on the end. But we got it the bigger part of the way off, which is helpful with that tool. And there you have it. Nice. No damage, no problem. Now I get to grab this tin off of here, and then I'll show you putting it back on and how to torque it properly. And a wire brush around the screws. Wow, there's a lot of stuff caked in this. It's been sitting under my bench for a while. I'm going to end up taking all these off. Where's my PB? Now, first we will try this big screwdriver, but oh, I was going to say, but it isn't going to come off that easy. That one did. We'll see if the other ones do. I'm going to use, let me see here. I'm sure one's going to jerk me around. I'm going to use stainless steel screws on a new motor for the sheet tin. I already ordered it. Cooling tin. Oh, I forgot to spray that one. Of course, I'm not letting it soak, which doesn't help. Oh, okay. Well, I thought I even had them ready, vice grips, because I feared we'd have to turn them out that way. But we don't, which is always very helpful. I think somebody had a mechanical gauge on this motor. There. That is what I needed right there. Yay! Now do yourself a favor before you put this back on, because what this video was, I needed that cooling tin that was a crank pulley removal and installation. Sometimes people change them out for the ones that have the degree markings on them, and sometimes people have bent theirs or need to change it. So when you do, here's a good idea. Inside here, okay, now not rough sandpaper, don't be an idiot, okay? Take like a 1500 grit wet dry. That's the lowest you can go, is 1500 grit. Take it and run it around in here like you're wet sanding, just to polish it up. You don't want to take any material away. I wanted to stress that to you a little bit, okay? You just want to polish it, and it'll slide on much easier. You won't have that friction, if that makes sense, but you're not removing any material, you're just polishing it up. That should make sense. Let's go ahead and torque this properly. So we're going to, after you have went ahead and polished this up on the inside, line up your keyway. That's what I call it. Line up the keyway. I forget what it's called. Let me see if this will reach. I don't think it will yet. Nope. Rubber mallet. Don't go taking a big hammer or anything like that and smacking it. Try to use a rubber mallet. You're just sending it on easy. You're not acting like a monkey. There we go. We're going to get our 30 millimeter and a torque wrench. 30 millimeter back on the ratchet. Let me just snug it. Okay. Get our torque wrench, because I forgot it. All right, let's set our torque wrench to 32-pound. And I hate this torque wrench. I got a new one. It's down the house. It's digital, and I forgot to bring it up the garage. I don't feel like it now.
10, 15, 20, 25, 32.
Now, something important here. Do your own research on the torque. Everybody always, oh, I needed a bigger torque wrench. As I was saying, do your own research on the torque. I don't give advice on torque settings, so look it up yourself.
15, 20, 25, 30, 2.
Okay. Like I said, look it up yourself. I go 32 because that's what my one said. There it is, right there. Something really important also with your torque wrenches, when you're done with them, this is very important. Take them down to 0. You want to unload the tension on your torque wrench. Don't ever let it sit at 10, 20, 30, 100. Always loosen them up so the tension's not on a spring. Okay, let's go over a couple things. Now I always try to give some quick tips or something before I sign off. I don't know how many of you make it to the end. If you do, say, yes, I do. With your pulleys, I try to stay with the stock pulley when possible. I know they have the fancy pulleys that are kind of sexy looking, like this one here. I have nothing against them. It is nice to look right at the degree, mark what you need, etc. Your stock pulleys have been used for 60 years, 70 years, I don't know, and never an issue. There are markings on them, so you can do that. Now, a lot of people say, but I want to time at advance. You can go full acceleration, okay, I think is 3,000 RPM maybe. You can do that between 28 and 32 degrees, okay? Now, do your own research on it. That's what I do. What I'm getting at is you can buy a timing gun that has a dial on the back. What I was trying to say is time at full advance. My brain, when I'm filming sometimes, is everywhere. And I got this from Harbor Freight a while ago, and we measured it up against my buddy's Snap-on timing gun. It was the same. What I mean by that, I'm going to show you something here. I know a lot of you already know this, okay? I have the plug out right now. Right there, you have your degree marks on your gun. So there is, it's set at 0. See the little notch right there? So it's set at 0. When you are timing the engine, then you will go with this at 0 and the pulley at where you want it to be, say 5 degrees after, etc., etc. Now, when you want to do it at full advance, let's say you want to do 30 degrees at full advance. So you're going to move this to, I got to find the notch. I'm trying to look through the camera, which is not helpful. There we go. So you take your notch to 30 degrees on the gun. Now, when this is at 30 degrees on the gun, then you're going to time it full advance at top dead center on your pulley, because the gun is doing the advance for you. So that's how that works. And the reason I brought this up is because if you're changing your pulley, nothing should move, especially if you didn't move this distributor. However, it never hurts to check it, but always start out nice and cold. Cold motor, valve adjustment, then timing. But like I said, if your gun's at 0, then you will time the pulley to where it should be, you know, and you see the markings here. If the gun is advanced, the dial itself to 28, 30, or 32. I don't like 32. It seems to run hotter unless it's my imagination. If you're at 30 on here, then you do the pulley to top dead center because the gun is doing the advancement, and that's at full advance. Don't mess around doing that if you don't know what you're doing, okay? Let's close out. So I'm going to be moving forward. This is your weekly video. There will be some shorts coming up over the weekend. I've been doing shorts a lot that I take from older videos, and they do really speed it up. Like I did one recently, quick tie rod replacement. So in 60 seconds, you're watching how to do a tie rod. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and have part 2 of the cooling tin installation video next week. You already seen part 1. Part 2 will be wire wheeling. I'm going to speed it up really fast, time lapse it, and then I won't speed it up though with the painting part. And in the following week, we're going to be doing the a full cooling tin installation video with the thermostat on our motor from Kelso. Okay, I hope everybody has a great upcoming weekend. Stay safe, healthy, and happy, and I'll see you soon.